we learned from the New York Post that there has now been a second offer made to Cody Bellinger from the Yankees.
What are we looking for?
I don't know what the number is, but a second offer to Belly. Sometimes, you know how teams negotiate against themselves? I'm not saying they are, but it does appear as if the Yankees want him more than anyone else.
Well, he fits the most with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he was there. He proved he could play there.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was a Yankee. It makes total sense.
They need to be more athletic, right?
He fits that bill. He can play first. He can play the outfield if Grisham doesn't have a year that Grisham had last year, right? I mean, he fits perfectly. They obviously lost Goldschmidt, so they need someone to play first, with Ben Rice or him or whoever it is.
I think they're going to give Rice every day.
At first?
Or as much as possible.
Where's Bellinger play?
Outfield.
Okay, so left?
Yeah.
Because Grisham's in center, Judge is in right. So then what do you do with Dominguez?
Well, Dominguez or Jones could get traded. You know what I would do?
But here's my thing about that.
I would trade one of them for a pitcher.
I would too. But who did we have on yesterday?
Chris Kirshner.
And what'd he say? They're not trading him. And if they trade, especially Dominguez, if they trade Dominguez, people will be up in arms about it.
Would they?
I don't know. I think because he's been so hyped for so long, he's still only 22 years old. The Yankees would be hesitant to trade him because, God forbid, if he went somewhere else and they let him play a different position or figured out something, because he was not good in left field. I'm sorry. He wasn't. Right? But if they put him in center where he came up playing and he actually became something, then Yankee fans would be like, why'd you trade him for that? You know, so I don't know. And Spencer Jones has kind of lost a little bit of his prospect clout.
He hasn't even come up yet.
Yeah, but his strikeout numbers are so outrageous.
Judge struck out a lot. Not like this, but remember Judge's first, month or two in the bigs? And he just struck out half the time. And then people were like, I don't know, this guy's too big and blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be able to make consistent contact. And now he's a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, Kratz, if it's me, I'm signing Belly and I'm trading Dominguez for a pitcher like Edward Cabrera.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and tell me if you guys agree with me or not. Cody Bellinger isn't just the best fit for the Yankees. He might be the best value out there on the market. He's the guy that you can plug in at center field, left field, first base. And I think there's a lot of teams that need athleticism. They want a left-handed hitter. I think he offers more than the other guys that are out there on the market. Is Kyle Tucker a better offensive piece? Yeah, I would agree with that. But Cody Bellinger is, I think, yes, we're saying it's the Yankees. And yes, I think he will sign with the Yankees because I think they will get the last offer. I don't like the wording of second offer out. Like it sounds like they made one offer and then we don't hear anything from Cody and then there's another offer. To me, it should be a counter offer would be the wording. If Cody's like, no, this is what I want, Yankees say, okay, well, this is what we're going to go ahead and do. But to me, I think it's the Yankees or nothing. But I also think other teams should be in on Cody. He's proven that he settled into his big league career after that tough front shoulder when you swing injury that he sustained in the 2020 World Series.
He is going to get less than Kyle Tucker, although I can't say that for sure. The Kyle Tucker market has been pretty mysterious, but at least in terms of the ask, right? If I had to guess what the goal is for each player, they're very far away, right? You would think heading into the offseason, Kyle Tucker's camp is like, we're getting 350, 400 million.
Yeah, they're talking about 400 million.
Right. And Bellinger's camp's like, we're getting 150 to 200 and we'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
That's half.
Yeah.
So that's where
right
you can
now
see
it looks
value.
like, I mean, Cody Bellinger might figure it out, but right now it looks like neither one of them is going to get close to that from the numbers we're hearing.
We don't know.
I mean, we don't ever know, but like the way teams are talking and the way these insiders, these so-called insiders are saying, it doesn't seem like either one of them is going to get close to maybe Cody Bellinger gets a little closer to 150-ish.
You want to know my guess? So I think that the Yankees have a number on Bellinger over a certain amount of years, and then they're going to do the DJ LeMahieu and add a year or two to make it work for luxury tax purposes, because Hal and many others are sick of giving all the money to the same few teams that don't spend it. So let's say in their mind it's 150, or let's even just say 180, 180. They're going to try and throw like 180 at him. Be like, dude, you'll be at the end of your career anyway. Yeah. Sometimes you do buyouts at that point, right? Can we do 180 so that it stretches the number out? So that's what I think is going on right now, and they're going back and forth about it.
And does he really fit? anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure he does.
Fits in many other spots.
But he's the one guy the Yankees need like that. It seems like he's a perfect fit in the Yankees.
I agree.
Like Juan Soto was that one year when he got traded over there. He was like the perfect fit. Cody Bellinger, especially after what he did last year, just seems like a really good fit with the Yankees.
I think the Yankees want to get going with the rest of their plans, Kratz. So I think they're trying to get this done this week. So I think this is the next shoe to drop.
Who do they turn to? Who do they turn to if they don't get Cody? And that's why I think Cody's biggest bargaining chip is, other than the fact that I think I believe he fits on so many other teams that I think he will have other options. But who do the Yankees pivot to if they don't get Cody Bellinger? I mean, Aaron Boone said the other day, we love our roster. We really love our – okay. You loved your roster with the best year ever from Trent Grisham. You loved your roster with the fact that Cody Bellinger was giving a little bit of protection to Aaron Judge, who had one of his best years ever. Ben Rice, is he going to do the exact – like, you do have to bring somebody in because if you don't sign Cody, you have to replace that.
Yeah, and remember at some point when someone threw out there Kyle Tucker as the backup plan? I'm like, whew, that's a tough backup plan. That's you can't figure out numbers with Cody, but then you're going to figure out numbers with Kyle? I mean, let's bring in Ken right now to talk about it first. Let's get FT Senior Insider Ken Rosenthal's take on this. Ken, your thoughts on Cody Bellinger and the Yankees as a fit and maybe as something that could happen soon so that the Yankees can get going with the rest of their offseason?
I don't know about soon. I never kind of predict timelines, especially with Scott Boras clients, because Scott Boras is not afraid to drag this thing out. He will act when he thinks it is appropriate, and certainly it could happen this week or at any time. And I appreciate what you're saying, Scott, about the Yankees getting on with the rest of their offseason. But I kind of go back to what Erik was just saying there about what's their alternative. And I think AJ mentioned this too. That to me is the real question. They can trade for a starting pitcher. They can work on the bullpen and do all those things regardless of what happens with Bellinger, whether it's this week or 3 weeks down the line. But my question is, if not Bellinger, what's the offensive player you're going to get to replace him, or who is that player? And I don't know the answer to that. Kyle Tucker, as you guys just mentioned, is a much more expensive, most likely addition. Bo Bichette is not really a fit with their roster. Bregman is not really a fit with their roster. So who is that hitter if not Bellinger? Now, things happen in the offseason and at the deadline all the time that surprise us, that we don't see coming because teams have other moves planned. Let's say the Yankees, for instance, can find a spot for Jazz Chisholm and they want to play Bichette at second. Okay, that's one scenario, and it's one of 100 in all of these circumstances. So I don't know exactly what's going through the minds of the Yankees, but your general premise, the premise of everybody on the panel this morning is, hey, if not Cody, then who? And that to me is a very fair question.
Just can you clarify something with the wording? It said second offer was made to Cody Bellinger. Does that mean it was a counter offer? Does that mean it was Cody said, okay, I take your first offer. This is what we want. Here comes our counter offer. Or is this a second offer because he didn't respond because he changed his phone number on the first offer?
I don't know, Erik. And that's a very fair question. Certainly, it's one of two things, right? As you just laid out. It's either Boras countered and the Yankees came back with something else, or the Yankees simply increased their initial offer. And either way, they're still not there. They're still not at a point where Boras, at this point of the offseason, January 6th, is ready to take whatever the Yankees have offered. Now, the clock is running, and it's got another month or so to go before teams start getting together for spring training. We're not at an urgent point in these talks with any of these players. There's no deadline in the offseason, as we've discussed many times before. But this whole scenario, and it's not just Bellinger, it's Bellinger, Bregman, Bichette, Tucker. They're all intertwined in many ways because many of the same teams are involved with these players. And it just seems that it's one big stalemate right now, a stalemate that can break at any time, but hasn't yet.